I'm Kat.
I'm Hayley.
And this is Night Classy, the podcast where two teachers unwind, sip wine, and each teach a lesson we can't teach at school. What are we drinking, Hayley?
We're drinking Santa Julia Cabernet Sauvignon for $9.99. And I must say, for that price, it's hitting me right. It is the 2020 version, so at least something good came out of that year. It is very good. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like crisp and dry and easy to drink.
Yeah, this is something I could, not to sound like an alcoholic or anything, but I could drink this every day.
Oh, easily. I could drink the whole bottle every day. I mean, not to sound like an alcoholic, but you know.
But it is what it is. This wine is delicious. And of course, we're red wine girls.
Yes.
It feels good to be back to our roots, back to some cheap wine.
Just good vibes all around. So we are grateful for High Point Grocery for recommending this wine to us. They are our partner and they are freaking lovely. So if you're in the Memphis area, definitely go check them out. They are a cute, locally owned grocery store with an amazing wine selection, and they are located at 469 High Point Terrace.
Go do it. High Point, they're out there.
They are out there. And I actually have only had a sip of this wine just to taste it because I am fucking sick as a dog right now. We're recording on a Sunday because I was in no way ready to record on Friday and I'm still struggling, but I'm here.
You got pushed back if you can't tell just by listening to how Kat sounds right now. She's unwell. So thoughts and prayers.
Definitely unwell. And so I'm so sorry for all the sniffling and coughing that's about to be in this episode. I don't have COVID. I went to the doctor. It's a sinus infection. So
woo!
Woo! Fun times.
She's infected.
I'm infected. And yesterday was really fun because the power was out at our house and I'm sick. So like I couldn't go out in public because it's just not a good look these days to be coughing. So we had to stay home and it was raining. So we couldn't even like go on a walk. It's just been like a fun weekend. So
yeah, Tommy and I woke up and we were like, bye. The power's out. We're not staying
here. You guys were at the house when it was out. I didn't even know you guys knew.
Yeah, well,
and
we
you
were
didn't invite us over. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't. I told you I was like, they're doing something. They're gonna say no. Like I'm not gonna even put myself out there to be rejected.
We probably would have said no because anyway. So like I guess that's good because I was just like so sick. I didn't want to do anything but lay in bed, and like I literally laid in bed and watched TikTok on my phone until my phone died, and then my phone died, and then I just laid in bed and stared at the ceiling. It was a terrible day.
That's what it's like to be sick in 2021 when your power's out, nothing to do, just wasting away.
All I wanted was to watch trashy reality TV all day from my bed, and I couldn't even do that. I started this new show. It's not a new show. It's old, but it's called Are You the One? And it's fucking amazing if you like trashy MTV love shows.
That show is the one for you.
It is, yes. If you're asking yourself, is it the one? Yes, it is. It's amazing.
That'll heal your soul and your sinus infection, but
it will not heal your sinus infection. Your sinus infection. It will not. Oh, I know this from experience. I've been fucking sick since Saturday.
Yeah,
of last week.
You're nasty.
I am nasty. But enough about how fucking sick I am. You went to New Orleans. Do you have any fun stories?
Yes, I do. Okay, I think probably the best thing for me was getting to meet one of our listeners. Shout out to you, Erin Everett. She's a listener. She's a Patreon supporter. I got to meet up with her. We grabbed dinner and drinks and we got crunk. And it was just so fun. She was so down to earth and she had moved to New Orleans from Denver, and she's probably actually right now helping her parents move back to Wisconsin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's a medical student. She's doing a great work. She's on her way to become a psychiatrist and help people with their mental health. And
our listeners are so smart and cool.
They're so smart and so cool. I told her, it's like, I don't know how you went straight from getting your bachelor's right into master's now and like in med school. Like you're really really doing things.
She is. She's an inspiration to us all.
That she is.
Yeah, I'm so sad I couldn't have been there.
I know.
At the same time, I'm like, my social anxiety is such that like part of me was like literally relieved because I am really bad at meeting strangers, but I could definitely suck it up for one of our listeners.
Oh my gosh, I was so nervous, and I told her that was like the third thing out of my mouth, and I was like, I'm so nervous, and she was like, I am too.
Yeah.
And even in the car, I told Tommy that I was nervous just to interact with a new person for the first time, like since COVID happened. And Tommy was like, well, I'll be there if there's any long conversation. I can ask questions. I have stuff prepared. I was like, okay, great. He said like
he
nothing.
has like note cards. He like writes on the palm of his hand, like ask if she has pets.
Yeah, what is your favorite color? And she does have pets, by the way.
Okay.
She has a very cute cat who's super old. But she was showing me pictures, and they're like bounce around. I think it's a girl. I forget their name. But she was like bouncing around like a kitten. So she is a very young spirit. Yeah, we talked about all kinds of things.
That's amazing.
We even talking. We were like, we should add that as a level on Patreon. Like, if you
Meet
do
us.
$500 to $1,000, then we'll travel to your city.
Oh my God.
You.
Oh, if anyone just wants to like pay for part of our plane ticket to go meet you, I'm down.
Absolutely.
Fly
to
me
travel
out.
and to get to hang out.
Be my podcast sugar daddy.
Oh, yeah. So that was amazing. I got us some new glassware.
Yeah. Hayley got us these like glasses that are like carved out of a crystal.
Yeah.
They're pretty
they're
cool.
Freaking dope.
I'm like, I have a goblet of wine right now. I feel very fancy.
It is fancy. I thought that it was fitting. We sweated a lot. There were 1,000 more, way more than 1,000. There were a million bajillion people there at all times, and it was super hot. So definitely the highlight was getting to meet Aaron and getting to just hang out with Tommy alone and, have a little couples vacation.
That's so fun. I'm so happy you guys got to do that. I'm hoping to go to New Orleans this summer. I'm like really going to try to make that happen. It's been like my dream to go there since I was a child. And when I moved to Memphis, I was like, yes, like now I'm going to go to New Orleans as soon as possible. And I just haven't fucking done it yet. So I need to do it.
Wow.
I want to go on like all the haunted tours and go to the graveyards and go to like the voodoo stores and museums. And I want to go so bad.
I'm so sad we didn't get to go to the cemeteries because they were like closed on Memorial Day, which is when we mistakenly planned to go there. But yeah. I'll have to go back. We can do like a night classy trip. That would be cool.
That would,
yeah.
We should definitely do like a night classy field trip for Patreon to New Orleans. Maybe we'll do that over the summer. Alex still needs to edit our most recent one, but once that's done, we need to start thinking about our next field trip, and it could definitely be New Orleans. We could go to like LaLaurie's house.
Oh my gosh,
That'd
yes. Be cool. And we didn't realize. So all of the cemeteries in New Orleans, they're all like mausoleum type things, and we were like, wow, everyone's really fucking bougie here. And then we looked it up and it was like, no, your body would just come up because they're below sea level.
You gotta do it that way. But it is still bougie. Oh my fucking God. I'm so sorry. This is going to be a fucking nightmare for Alec to edit with how much I'm about to cough. But yeah, that brings us to like our next point that we breathalyzed. And even though I blew a .000 because I like am not drinking, I'm going to go first.
I blew a .013. If anyone's wondering, it is Sunday at 2:00. So
yeah, it's Sunday at 2:00. And
Do you have tissues?
No. Should I go to the bathroom and grab some?
Maybe so.
That's a good idea. Okay, I will be right back with tissues. All right, I took a break to have a coughing attack and blow my nose, so now I am ready to get started. Last episode, Hayley and I thought it would be, we like made a joke that we were going to cover Pokémon and One Direction, and we decided to actually do it. So today my lesson is on Pokémon. Woo! Gotta catch them all. I want to start out with a disclosure that I am not an expert on Pokemon, so like please don't come at me if I get it wrong. I did not play the games as a kid. I did not watch the show because I was not allowed to play video games or watch Pokemon.
All right, then you don't really know Pokemon. I need to learn from someone else.
I don't. I did collect the cards as a kid. I feel like every kid that our age did. Maybe not you,
Not
the way
this
you're
girl.
looking at me. So I collected the cards, and since Pokemon Go came out, I've gotten more into it. I'm a level 34 out of 40 on Pokemon Go, so like that's no big deal or anything. But it
Sounds like a big deal. Sounds like a big deal.
It is, and I could be a level 40 by now, which is a very big deal. But I've played on and off.
You've neglected it.
I have. In college, I had all these like jobs, and a lot of them I'd have to walk for like an hour to get to my fucking job. And so I would like play Pokemon Go every day, like walking to work and from work, because
You
it
get
just
to
like
work
made it
and-
fun.
You were always the girl who was like, do you have a charger? Can I use the charger?
No, I literally had a portable charger that I keep in my purse for while I play Pokemon Go.
Okay. You were on a whole other level.
I really was. Oh my God. So let's get started. Pokemon is an abbreviation for pocket monsters in Japanese, which was the original name, and it was first introduced in Japan in 1996 by Nintendo. There were 2 original games, Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green, which were made for Game Boys. And then in 1998, it was released in the US as Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue. It was developed by Satoshi Tajiri, who worked for a gaming magazine called Game Freak. And he would design games for Nintendo. And he was inspired to make this game because he had a childhood hobby of bug collecting.
Oh, nice. I collected bugs. I was one of those kids.
Me too. I'd make like terrariums for them. I mean, you all know about my slug caboodle, so.
Right. I, on the other hand, just trap toads in a bucket on my off times of being an Amish woman.
I wish I could have trapped toads. That's fun.
Yeah, I would just grab them. No wonder I had so many warts.
Did you ever get pollywogs? I used to do that, and then you'd raise them into frogs.
Yes, we did. Mm-hmm.
That was fun. We should go to the river and get some pollywogs. Do you have pollywogs in the Mississippi?
I don't think so.
No, maybe in like the Wolf River. Maybe
We
in,
call
like,
them tadpoles in the South.
tadpoles.
Yeah, we called them tadpoles too. I didn't know what a pollywog was until my first year of teaching. We read a book about a pollywog.
Yeah, I feel like tadpoles is the real name, but pollywog is just so much more fun to say.
It's way more fun, and it's somehow more fancy sounding. Like I feel like
pollywog.
a pollywog.
Yeah. Speaking of pollywog, Poliwag is a Pokemon modeled after a pollywog.
Wow. Good
Fun
thing there's no like
fact.
trademarking on pollywog.
Yes. I mean, it is, I believe, spelled differently. So they got around it somehow. When he first introduced this idea of Pokemon to his publishers, they were hesitant, but he had designed games in the past that have had a lot of success. So they went for it anyway, and it's a good thing that they did. If you're unfamiliar with Pokemon, which like I don't really understand how that's possible, but maybe you are completely unfamiliar. In the game, you take on the role as a Pokemon trainer. So you're a human in this world of Pokemon, and your goal is to catch wild Pokemon. And again, if you're unfamiliar somehow, Pokemon are like little cartoon monsters.
Okay, yeah. See, I didn't know that. I didn't know that you were a human in this Pokemon world.
What?
Yeah, I
What
had
do
no
you
clue
mean?
that you're like training them. What do you mean? What do I mean?
Well, what did you think you were a Pokemon?
I had no idea what it was. I just know there were these weird little creatures.
Oh my God.
And there was balls.
I always love when Kat's teaching you a lesson and she gets mad that you don't know what she's teaching you.
She's like, you can't read my mind.
You don't know that?
Okay, I just feel like everyone knows this, but maybe you don't. So yeah, you're a human and you travel around the world, and the world is run by humans. Like it's a human's world. Pokemon are just living in it. And you travel around and you catch them, and your like whole purpose on this earth is to like catch and make friends with Pokemon, and then you battle them in battles, and
Okay,
you
this
gain
sounds
like a
really fucked
societal prestige.
This is sounding a lot like dog fighting, turtle fighting, all of the...
Yes, it has been criticized by animal rights groups, and we will get to that. That's actually why I wasn't allowed to watch the show as a kid, because my mom thought it encouraged animal abuse.
Sounds about right. They're like, no, it's not a polywog. It's a polywag.
In a poly world. But anyway, it's like the Pokemon, like it's you want to be friends with the Pokemon. They only let you catch them if they think you're worthy.
Kind of like Dove Charney wanted to be friends with his employees.
Okay, nobody's sexually assaulting Pokemon that I know
Yeah,
of.
that was a leap. That was a leap. I'm sorry.
And so you like catch them and then you like build these bonds of friendship and they like fighting each other. They like it. They actually fucking love it. And they fight each other and they never actually like really get hurt. They just faint when they're defeated. And then you just like bring them to the hospital and they like revive them.
Okay, I'm following.
Yeah. So like they don't get hurt. And it does sound fucked up, I'll give you that. But also like it's a fictional game. So it's not actually doing anything
just
bad.
like GTA. It's all fictional.
Okay. Okay. So Hayley is on the side of PETA.
As if that's like terrible.
I guess.
I had Nintendogs where you cared for your animals and took them on walks.
What if
and
there was
fed
like
them?
a Nintendogs edition where it's like a Nintendogs dog fight?
I mean, I'm sure you would have played it.
I would have. I wasn't allowed to have video games, so I never got to play Nintendogs, but I'd like go to my friend's house and play on their DS, and I was really jealous. I was the first child, so my mom was super granola and like restricted all my screen time. I was not allowed to have video games. I was not allowed to have junk food of any kind. And then my brothers came along and got to do whatever the fuck they wanted.
They always do.
Yeah.
They always freaking do. In quarantine, early quarantine, I found my old DS that had Nintendogs in it and I played it till it died and I don't have the charger. So
it's probably just like a micro USB, right?
Oh no, it is.
Or like
this was
like
from
one of the
like
Samsung
2005.
No? Oh dang.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
So
even
I might
know.
have to go on eBay.
You could probably get one for like 99 cents.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then you can play Nintendogs.
Okay, I'll like live vicariously. My child self will be fulfilled.
That's what this summer will be. You're just going to have so much screen time. You're going to play Nintendogs.
Oh my god, I need to figure out something to do this summer because I don't
It's
know.
gonna be gone in a blink. You're traveling.
I'm only going home for 11 days.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I don't know. I'm going to be teaching. So I guess I can talk about this now. I got a new job at a new school where I'm going to be teaching 7th and 8th grade. These last couple of years I taught 6th grade. So I do have to like learn a new curriculum over the summer. So
Woo! We can
that
do plenty
sounds
of stuff for
fun.
Night Classy too.
Yes, we can.
Be on TikTok all day, every day.
Oh my God, yes. All right. So when you play this game in the DS, you start with a single Pokemon. You get like a starter Pokemon, and then that becomes like your main squeeze. And in the original game, you could pick from 3. You could pick Bulbasaur, Charmander, or Squirtle. And you're a fucking loser if you pick anything but Charmander.
Excuse you.
What?
I know I'm a Squirtle girl for sure, just based solely on the name. And I didn't mean that dirtily, but it came out. It
like
sounded dirty. I just like the name. It's
Okay,
cute.
it is cute, but Charmander evolves into a Charizard, so I just feel like it's stupid to pick anything but
What
the
is a
fire.
Charizard?
It's like a giant fire-breathing dragon.
I was a Bulbasaur boy.
I think Bulbasaur is the cutest, but
Yeah.
I do
Squirtle is not the cutest for sure.
no, it's ugly. It looks like Bobby Hill.
I don't know who that is.
What? Haley, god damn it.
I'm sorry.
From King of the Hill. She has a blank stare right now.
That's
Fuck
that's an animated like cartoon,
Yes,
right? Okay.
yes. You've never watched King of the Hill?
No. How did you watch King of the Hill?
I
Freaking
grew
granola
up
kid.
on King of the Hill. I love King of the Hill.
Isn't it inappropriate?
Yeah, I was allowed to watch. My mom's problem with Pokemon is that it was violent, but like she didn't censor anything but violence. So I watched like all kinds of like technically inappropriate.
yeah, she got
shit.
to watch The Simpsons every week.
I watched The Simpsons like every day. It was my dad's. The Simpsons and Judge Judy was my dad's favorite shows, and so I'd watch that with him. I didn't watch cartoons.
Wow, that's hysterical. I was watching like Dora.
Yeah, I didn't watch that shit.
Too cool for school. Freaking Claudia Severa
Yeah, it's
watching The Simpsons.
probably why I have issues now. So you pick your starter Pokemon, and then you just go on an adventure and do everything I just described. You do what you do. Pokemon was wildly successful. To this day, it is the second most successful video game franchise after Super Mario Bros. So very popular. Pokemon are separated into 18 different types. There's normal, fire, water, grass, electric, ice, fighting, poison, ground, flying, psychic, bug, rock, ghost, dark, dragon, steel, and fairy.
Ooh, fairy,
Yeah.
dark, psychic.
Yeah, there are some really cool ones. I actually took a BuzzFeed quiz to find out what type of Pokemon I am, and I was really hoping for fairy, dark, or psychic, but instead I got fighting.
You got fighting type?
You would verbally fight someone, but never physically.
No, I'm not a physical fighter, and I'm not a words fighter either. Like, I'm terrible at confrontation. Like, if someone tried to fight with me, even verbally, I think I would just like walk away. I wouldn't know what to say.
Subway begs to differ.
Subway. Oh, my fight with Alec. Yeah.
And what was it? Oh yeah, Subway and spoiler alerts.
Yeah, I'll fight with you guys, but like if a stranger at a bar like tried to come at me, I don't.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I got fighting. I don't know how or why. And so you use these like different Pokemon have different types, and then you battle them. And the game basically comes down to a rock, paper, scissors type situation. Like, for example, like water beats fire, electric beats water, fire beats ice, like so on. But it's more complicated than that because Pokemon have like different levels of combat power, so different strengths. Some Pokemon also have like 2 types, and sometimes they're like conflicting types, so that complicates it. Or like certain moves do better than others. And like Pokemon also have evolution, so like they'll evolve into a stronger Pokemon. So it's not like a hard and fast rule. Like if I'm a water Pokemon fighting a fire, like I'm going to win. And when you're like fighting in a Pokemon battle, you can like retract your Pokemon a certain amount of times and like put out a new one. And the other trainer can do that too. And so it's like, is it worth like fighting with this one that's probably not going to win, but like weaken it enough? And I don't know. It's
amazing how they can create these really intricate worlds within games, and the stories behind it are incredible.
Definitely. Like being a game designer would be amazing because they really do create this whole like alternate universe where you're a Pokemon trainer. And I mean, that's with like all video games, but this one especially, it's definitely like its own universe, and it's just evolved and evolved and evolved.
Yeah, and it got in on like the ground floor of video games as we know them now.
Yes, definitely. So in addition to fighting Pokemon, like there's also like a major appeal of this game is like the collection aspect. And we saw that with how Santoshi like dreamed of this game because he loved collecting bugs as a kid. And so the tagline of Pokemon is gotta catch them all, because your goal is to collect all these Pokemon, and you have a Pokédex. And I could show you mine in Pokemon Go later, but you basically like have this like list of numbers, however many Pokemon there are in that region. And then your goal is to like fill them up, and like the number goes away once you catch that Pokemon. And then like you have the Pokemon in your Pokédex, and you can like click on it and learn about it. And so your goal is to fill that up. So even if you're not like into the fighting part, like the collection part is really satisfying. And Pokemon has evolved from the Game Boy to other handheld devices. First, after Game Boy, it was DS, and then now the Nintendo Switch. I played Let's Go Eevee on my Switch. It was pretty fun.
What is that?
It's a Pokemon game for the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There's like a few of them now. But
are
that's
they
the one
all
I
pretty
have.
much just the same thing as catching these Pokemon and fighting them?
Yeah, it's the same premise, but like with each different Pokemon game to come out, there's like usually a different region and different Pokemon. We'll go over the regions in a minute, but it's like a whole different like world. And so you have all these Pokemon games in red, green, blue, yellow, gold, silver, ruby, sapphire, diamond, pearl, black, white, X, Y, sun, moon. I'm definitely missed a few. Like there's just like always new ones coming out, and there'll be like a remake and a re-release, and they'll also come out for like different handheld devices. There are 8 different Pokemon regions. There's Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova, Kalos, Alola, and Galar. And so like when a newer Pokemon game will come out, it'll be like for a new region. And then with that new region, it's like a new environment, new part of the Pokemon world, and all new Pokemon.
That was always one of my favorite parts in playing video games, especially DS games and Mario, was seeing these new worlds that people created. It just tickles a part of your brain to go and explore that.
Oh yeah, there's definitely like the exploring element. It's very fun. You can kind of get lost in the world. Because there's always new games being introduced with new Pokemon, the total number of Pokemon is always changing. There's also like no straightforward answer to how many Pokemon there are because there's certain Pokemon that have different versions in different regions. Like there's a whole branch of like Alolan Pokemon that like are the same type of Pokemon, but like they look different. And then there's also Pokemon with Mega Evolutions. So like it's up for debate in like all these online forums whether or not those like count as separate Pokemon or not. The official count as of October 2020 is 893.
Whoa.
So there's a shit ton of Pokemon. And the Pokemon TV show was also obviously wildly popular and definitely contributed to the franchise's success. It premiered in Japan in 1997, and the protagonist of the show is 10-year-old Ash Ketchum. But in the Japanese version, his name is Santoshi, after the Pokemon's creator.
Is it possible to catch them all?
Yeah. It
Really?
is. It's difficult because some of them are legendary Pokemon that you have to like get through raids, and then like in the games, you like can't catch them all in the game because like they're usually restricted to a different region. But with the games now, you can like attach to like your other games and like import Pokemon, or like from your phone, you can import them from Pokemon Go.
Oh, okay.
And it's difficult to catch them all in Pokemon Go because there are certain Pokemon that are only available in certain countries. Like Mr. Mime, for example, you can only get in France.
Oh, cool.
And so it's difficult to catch them all, but it can be done.
I wonder if anyone has caught them all in Pokemon Go.
Definitely.
Wow.
Yeah. And so Ash Ketchum is the protagonist, and he is accompanied by his partner Pokemon, Pikachu. In the show, like Pikachu does not live in a Pokeball. He walks alongside Ash as his partner. And this is the first time we kind of like saw that in Pokemon. That wasn't a part of the original Game Boy games. But after the Game Boy games, now you can have a partner Pokemon that walks alongside you because of the show. Ash goes on this journey to become the very best, to be a master by battling Pokemon in the Pokemon League. And Pokemon was a really big deal because it's considered like one of the first, if not the first anime series to gain mainstream success with Western audiences. And it's widely credited for the current global popularity of anime. It was kind of Western audiences' first taste of an anime. There's been over 1,000 Pokemon episodes, which currently air in 169 countries, and it's one of the most watched shows on Netflix as of 2016.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just too cool. I was like, everyone likes, I'm going to be a hipster.
Yeah.
Call me a hep cat.
Well, that's why we're doing this episode. You were too much of a hipster for Pokemon, and I was too much of a hipster for One Direction. As for the game, in 2016, the Pokemon video game was switched from being available on Game Boy to exclusively on the DS. And Pokemon is considered one of the reasons that the Nintendo DS became so popular. It sold over 150 million devices and was like the handheld device until the Nintendo Switch came along. So it was a very big deal. And in 2013, Pokemon X and Pokemon Y debuted on the Nintendo 3DS. And then in 2016, Pokemon Go was released, which we all know is a huge deal. Pokemon Go is an augmented reality game for smartphones and tablets. So you can go outside and you can use this like augmented reality to like see your actual landscape through your camera, and then the like little Pokemon characters like appear as if they're in your actual environment, and you can catch them and battle in gyms with your friends in real life. So that's really cool. It was like one of the first games of this kind and was a huge sensation. It's a massive success. It boasts over 30 million users all around the world. And this Pokemon Go was arguably a huge cultural sensation. Like, I don't know if you remember 2016 when it came out, but
yeah, I do. And at the time I had a Samsung and I tried to play it, but it killed my phone battery. So I was like, I can't get into it. I have a Samsung. So
it definitely killed your phone battery. But that's why people had like battery packs and would walk around. And it became like such a huge cultural sensation that it even made a mark on the 2016 US presidential campaigns. So the Clinton campaign in 2016 announced that it would be registering voters, quote, at Madison Park Pokestop and Pokemon and Pokegym in Lakewood, Ohio.
Wow, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, it was smart. And the flyer, or the online flyer, read, "Join us as we go to the Pokestop in Madison Park and put up a lore module, get free Pokemon, and battle each other while you register voters and learn more about Secretary Hillary Clinton."
Nice.
I
Get the
know.
young crowd.
And I feel like it's kind of like funny because this is just like such like a boomer thing to write, because get free Pokemon, they're all free.
Yeah.
And they're always around.
Yeah, that's a good point. That went right over my head because I'm like, oh, free Pokemon. Okay.
Free Pokemon.
You don't have to fight them. Okay. I mean, everything costs something.
I suppose. And then have you seen the video of like the awkward like Pokemon Go joke that Hillary Clinton made at one of her rallies?
I don't think so.
She like was at a big rally and she said, I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'd try to figure out how to get them. This is really weird. I copy and pasted this, but it makes no sense. But I'd try to figure out how to get them to have Pokemon Go at the polls. I butchered that, but that's because it was like a really awkward thing to say. I don't know.
Everyone just breaks out booing her.
Yeah, pretty much. It just seems
and that's
weird.
why she lost the election.
Honestly, like probably partly just because of like she's like awkward and out of touch.
Yeah, if you don't know, just probably best to not say anything. Meanwhile, we're here educating ourselves weekly on things. So we're like, I don't know about this.
Definitely. But yeah, it's just kind of like funny. And I remember seeing that video like when it happened and being like, that was weird.
Like, oh no.
But she wasn't the only one to like cringily use Pokemon in her campaign. The Trump campaign also put out a Pokemon themed video called Crooked Hillary No, which was a play on Pokemon Go, where it showed Hillary Clinton as a Pokemon called Crooked Hillary. And I have the video for us to watch.
Often found lying to the American people, rigging the system, and sharing top secret emails. Next revolution, unemployed. Wow. Career politician. What is it? 30,000 emails deleted.
Yeah.
I can't believe this is real. This seems like something that like a Trump fan would make.
No. This was put out by the Trump campaign. And yeah, so it looks like, you know, when you're watching the Pokemon show and like it'll be like the Pokemon of the day or whatever. And it's like there and you like see its stats. That's what it was. But it was Hillary Clinton. And yeah, you read it, but I'll read it again just in case. Her description was often found lying to the American people, rigging the system and sharing, in all caps, top secret emails. And then instead of her combat power listed, it said 30,000 deleted emails. Her evolution was unemployed and her type is career politician.
I can't believe that his administration put that out.
I know. It's crazy. I mean, he put out all kinds of weird campaign videos.
Yeah,
but
actually, I guess I should believe that. I should be shocked that I didn't see it before right now.
Right. And it definitely got people's attention, but it just is very unprofessional and weird.
Yeah.
But so, it's clear that Pokemon has its place in pop culture, judging by that, which has opened it up to scandals over the years. So Pokemon came out in the 90s, which, as we know, was directly after the satanic panic of the 80s. And a lot of Christian parents were very concerned that this game encouraged children to take up witchcraft and the dark arts. I mean, you noticed right away that there were dark, psychic, and fairy types. And so that automatically just like freaked people out.
Yeah, those are buzzwords immediately.
Yes.
If you hear those, the devil is near.
He is indeed. And, it also like comes with like summoning a creature, using powers, and it's kind of like having a familiar like in witchcraft.
Oh my gosh.
So I went and just Googled Pokemon demonic and I got all kinds of search results. But one of the first ones was a blog called Faithful Moms that wrote an article called Is Pokemon Safe for Kids? And this article is so absurd and I just want to share the gist of it. In this blog, she claims she's a Christian missionary who worked with the Yanomamo tribe in the Amazon rainforest. And I want to do a quick disclaimer that mission work is deeply problematic and violent. It is colonialism, and this article reeks of nothing else. It is racist and has tones of white saviorism blatantly, for sure. But I am going to explain it just because I think it's a good example of the mentality of some of these people who think that
scared.
Pokemon is the work of Satan. So the article basically goes that she was a missionary in the rainforest and claimed she was friends with a former witch doctor who, like, she converted, named Bautista. And as the story that she tells goes, I honestly doubt that any of it's true, but she got a book of Pokemon like mailed to her for her son or something, and she like didn't have a good feeling about it, and so she went and just showed Bautista like the Pokemon, and he was able, like, without like reading, because I forget if she said that he couldn't read or like she wasn't showing him the words.
Plus, also, it's probably in English.
Yeah, and I think he may have spoken. I don't know. Who knows? He was able to like look at the Pokemon. He'd be like, "Oh, I know that one. Like, that's a nasty demon. It does this, this, and this." And then, like, without reading it, like, those were the actual traits of the Pokemon. So to her, this was proof that these were real demons, and that like Bautista like interacted with his time as a witch doctor. It's all just like fucked up on every level and crazy. And she was like, "Yeah, like I told my son this, and like we burned the book together, and all this." It was just like the craziest thing I'd ever read.
Wow, just grasping at straws that you made yourself to push this.
And to be like, to look at Pokemon and be like, that's a real demon. Like, what?
Is it?
No.
Is it,
it was just the wildest thing. I like couldn't even believe. I mean, it's probably just like shit posting that she does on this blog to get views. I don't think it's anything more than that, but
yeah,
it's just like, oh my God.
I mean, people will call anything demonic to push their agenda.
Yeah, it's just totally just pushing an agenda. And also, like, I feel like a big part of the reason all these like white Christian moms are scared of Pokemon is that like it's anime, like it comes from Japan, and there's a little bit of racism there, and like this idea of the unknown. And
I think you're right.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. But this is definitely like an extreme example of people thinking that Pokemon is demonic. But like this idea is not entirely rare. There's all these claims on the internet. Like if you play certain songs from Pokemon backwards, you'll hear things like "I love Satan."
Oh my gosh. That goes like I've heard that about so many different things so many different times.
Yeah. Like it's just
like if you play anything backwards,
you hear something
it sounds
weird.
demonic.
Yeah.
This is
Truly.
the devil's world. We're just living in it.
Truly. And it's just, I don't know, whatever. But like, yeah, you can go on and read all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of crazy internet conspiracy theories about this. One of them is the Lavender Town myth. That's one of the more widespread ones. This myth has circulated around the internet for a long time, and people will tell it on the internet as if it's truth, even though it's a creepypasta. But like people believe it. A lot of like kids online will believe it because it's written about as if it's true.
And when you're a kid, you believe just about everything.
Yeah, definitely. I would have believed it. How the lavender myth goes is that after the release of Pokemon Red and Pokemon Green, it says that there was a spike in child suicides in Japan. And this had to do with a town in the game called Lavender Town. Lavender Town stuck out for a few reasons. One of the reasons is because it's one of the few towns in the game without a Pokemon gym. And it's in Lavender Town that you learn that Pokemon never fully die. They die and then they become ghost Pokemon. And in the town in the game, what you do, your like mission is to climb a tower that's haunted by ghost Pokemon and also like full of trainers who are mourning the loss of their dead Pokemon, and like some of them are possessed and kind of act crazy. So like it's definitely like a dark part of the game, and if you've ever played Pokemon or watched the show, you know like it's incredibly upbeat. So this whole town in the game kind of sticks out. And it also plays this creepy song while you're in Lavender Town, and I have a recording of it that we can listen to.
This sounds like this is just kind of the other side of life. Like, you know, how life can be happy and great, but also there's like some sad parts to life.
Yeah.
And it seems like they were kind of trying to encapsulate that within the game.
Definitely. I don't think it's anything sinister, but let's listen to it.
Yeah, that's kind of putting me on edge.
Yeah, it's a little creepy.
This part that just came in, that makes me feel like Ew, I don't know. Is it like out of key or something? I don't even know.
Yeah,
if
it's
that's
kind of like flat. I don't know. And it's definitely designed to make you uneasy. Like, that's the point. It's like a scary level of the game. And so it stuck with people. They're like, this is really creepy. And so it inspired creepypastas. The creepypasta that I've heard claims that basically the creators of this level purposely put this song in that had like a frequency that made children die by suicide. It's pretty a dark creepypasta.
Yeah.
It's not true, but
I
like
want the
that's how the
creepy-
story goes.
Whatever happened to the creepypastas that if you don't forward this email to 5 people, then Bloody Mary's gonna visit you in your sleep.
Right. This is much more intense than that. And it obviously sounds far-fetched, but there was a time where the game designers of Pokemon did unintentionally harm children. And this happened during an episode of Pokemon in 1997 that caused thousands of children to experience seizures.
What?
And this was named Pokemon Shock. The episode was called Denyo Senshi Porygon, and it was the 38th episode of season 1. And in this episode, Ash and his friends get transported inside of a Pokemon transmitter machine into a digital universe, and they have to battle a Pokemon called Porygon. And then during this battle, Pikachu blasts the computer program with a Thunderbolt attack, and animators used a technique called Paka Paka, which is where 2 colors flash rapidly on the screen to like show his attack. And we can watch it actually. Alec has it pulled up.
Oh no. Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, and so you can see for like 5 seconds, like red and blue like flash really rapidly, and it's really bright. And these lights induce seizures in children with epilepsy.
Yeah, what a weakness on the humankind.
The humankind and like an oversight in the game creators.
Yeah,
like,
that's bad.
I guess you wouldn't necessarily be thinking about that if you didn't have anyone on the team that has experienced epilepsy. But
and what year did the episode come out?
1997.
Yeah, I wonder how much experience they had with. But I mean, TVs had been around for a long time.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. So 12,000 children reported dizziness, blurred visions, and convulsions after watching the show. But this was curious because 12,000 is about 10 times as many as should have been expected based on just the like how many children have epilepsy. So they're like, that's weird. And more likely what happened was 600 children did experience these symptoms, which is the expected number that would have had epilepsy watching the show. But then, you know, those children go to school and tell their friends about it. And then Pokemon shock syndrome's in the news. And then kids watch the episode like recorded a day later. And then thousands of other children like report their symptoms because they heard about it. And so definitely it was a serious thing to happen. And like some children really did have these symptoms, but for most of them, it was probably more of a case of mass hysteria.
Kids being kids.
Yeah, kids being kids. But it is scary that it was able to have that effect. And it was only like a few seconds of these flashing lights. And I won't want to say the sad part of this because the sad part of this is that children suffered. But it's also sad that Porygon, the Pokemon, was not shown again on the show for 20 years, even though he wasn't even the one to do it. It was Pikachu.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it because of that episode?
Yeah, it's just like people are scared of Porygon now. It's cursed.
Oh my goodness. Aw.
And Pokemon has had its fair share of other petty scandals over the years, but I'm just going to talk about one, which is PETA's protest of Pokemon.
Nice.
I think it's funny that like you automatically were like the premise is fucked up because I guess now that I think about it, it is. But like
now after researching it and playing Pokemon for 24 years, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it is kind of fucked up. But like at the same time, like if you watch it, they stress so much the friendship aspect and like how like everyone likes it and like everyone consents and
it's a facade.
Yeah, I suppose it might be. But I mean, PETA did not appreciate the facade. And about that the game promotes animal abuse. So what they did was they made a game that you can play, and I actually went on and played the game on PETA's website. It's called Pokemon Black and Blue, Gotta Free 'Em All. And the game wasn't fun. Basically, you're a Pikachu and you battle trainers to free their Pokemon. And so you use attacks like Protest and Group Hug. And they use attacks like Tail Docking and Choke Collar.
Oh my God. Okay, there has to be a happy medium here, people.
Right. It's just so extra. And like, obviously, animal abuse is a serious issue, but like, I feel like going after Pokemon is not doing anything to actually help. It just makes people laugh at you.
Yeah.
So I don't really see what they're trying to do here. PETA's official statement reads, the amount of time that Pokemon spend stuffed in Pokeballs is akin to how elephants are chained up in train carts waiting to be let out to perform in circuses. But the difference between real life and this fictional world full of organized animal fighting is that Pokemon games paint rosy pictures of things that are actually horrible. And I would argue that the difference is actually that this is fiction and these are not real animals.
Yes,
And-
I stand with you by that.
Yeah.
Like the concept is fucked up, but at the end of the day, it is fictional.
Yeah.
It's not like these are cats and dogs and all
Right.
these real animals. Like these are made up
Made-up
cartoons.
monsters. And in the cartoon, it's like they're meant to battle. Like they have battling powers. It's like their nature to battle each other.
Not the same.
Yeah, not the same at all. And it's not like watching Pokemon is going to make me go out and like dogfight.
And I wonder, has PETA argued against games like Zootopia?
What's Zootopia?
Zootopia is where you can like make your own zoo.
Honestly, probably. Like PETA got
Probably.
mad at Animal Crossing because there's fishing in it.
Really?
And you don't even kill the fish in Animal Crossing. You like put them in the aquarium. So
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It's a lot. And I have a picture of what this game looks like. You can take a look at it.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So they look exactly like Pokemon. They are the characters, but like they're all like beat up and
Yeah.
Pokemon is chained by his neck to Pokemon, the title of it. I don't know. They look really messed up and hurt.
Yeah.
And like Pokemon has a bite out of his ear. And they
You
all
keep
look
calling
really
Pikachu
mean.
Pokemon.
Pikachu. Yes, I do. Dang it. Yeah, they just look really beat up and mean.
Yeah,
and
it's
scared.
It's pretty like fucked up. They're like covered in blood splatter.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. And so that was PETA's protest of Pokemon. And again, like I'm not against all things that PETA does, but I think the way they go about their very noble cause is flawed. And this is a good example of that.
Yeah,
And
they could have spent like all the time that it took to develop that game. They could have done something else.
right, something that actually does something.
Yeah.
I am going to end my lesson by answering my two most pressing questions about Pokemon. First of all, how are they designed? And second of all, what is it like inside a Pokeball? And so we're going to start out with how are they designed? And I thought this was really cool. It's not just the graphic designers who design Pokemon. Anyone in the creation process can propose a design and then tell the graphic design department about it and they draw it. So, for example, it might be a battle writer might come up with a move and they need a Pokemon to do the move. And they're like, this Pokemon would do this move. Like, can you create it? Or maybe a story writer might need a new Pokemon to fit a narrative they're writing. And so they might propose it. So everyone's kind of involved in this. And there's over 800 Pokemon and they're all very diverse and interesting. So it's cool that there's so many minds that have created these.
Yeah, no wonder they're so diverse.
Most of the time it is the graphic design team who just wants to create a new Pokemon and they're the ones who do it. Oftentimes it's that they find an animal who has not been made into a Pokemon yet and they want to explore that animal as a Pokemon because most Pokemon are modeled after real animals.
Oh, cool. I did not know that.
I know. In the last episode you said that they weren't. So they are.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Well, you said something like that, like Goldine is not a fish, and we're like, Hayley, look at it, it is a fish.
But she has a horn, right?
She does have a horn.
I think that's what I was focused on.
Yeah, she
I
called
saw-
her a hamster, though, which also does not have a horn.
Listen, it's not my fault I've never seen a hamster before.
We know what you did to the hamster.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in my life, okay?
Your Honor, I've never seen a hamster.
It's not my fault.
I plead not guilty.
There's not really any rules to designing a Pokemon. They can come from anywhere. You can have any kind of inspiration. The only thing that the design department asks is that they make sense in the Pokemon universe. So when they design a Pokemon, it's not just like, oh, this looks cool. They have to be treated like living creatures, the living creatures that they are. And so you have to be able to imagine like what kind of habitat are they in? Like, would they exist in one of the Pokemon regions that we already have established? What does it eat? Why does it look the way it does? And like, how does it live? And so like every Pokemon has a story, and it's not just like they draw it, stick it in a cartoon, and that's that. Like they treat them as if they are real animals.
Yeah, they have to fit into this complex world they've created.
Yeah. And if you look at Pokemon, like from the original Kanto region to now, the design has changed a lot, especially in the eyes. Originally, they had these like really angular eyes, but now most of them have like these cute round eyes. And that's partly because like now like there's been like a cultural shift. We like cute things, but also like the original Game Boys were really pixelated, so they couldn't do curved lines. And now, of course, they can. So that gives them a little bit more freedom. And ultimately, just designers have a lot of freedom overall. And that's how we get like the weird Pokemon. Like we have Trubbish, who's modeled literally after a bag of garbage. We have Vanillite, who is an ice cream cone, and Spirit Bomb, who is a spirit portal. Like anything can inspire a Pokemon.
Wow. What would you want your Pokemon to be modeled after?
That's a good question. I like fairies, maybe like a fairy cat.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. What about you?
Probably a piece of sushi.
Ooh, that'd
if
be
there
fun.
isn't one of those already.
I don't know if there is.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Who's your favorite Pokemon?
Eevee.
Oh, that's right.
What's yours? You don't know.
know.
You don't have one.
Pikachu?
Can you tell Hayley why Eevee's cool?
I just think she's the cutest. Oh, she also has like multiple evolutions. So most Pokemon have one evolution, but Eevee has like six? How many?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she can evolve into like 6 different things. Like, see, there's the fairy version of her, the psychic version, the ice version, plant, fire, dark, lightning, and water. And then that's little Eevee in regular.
Oh, she's really cute
Isn't she
in all of her
cute?
forms. Yeah, she's cool.
She's been my favorite since I was a kid. She's a lot of people's favorite for exactly these reasons.
Yeah.
So I'm just a basic bitch, I guess, but whatever. Eevee's my favorite. And my last question was, what is it like inside of Pokeball? Because if you're not familiar with the show, when you catch a Pokemon, you like throw a Pokeball at them, and then they go inside the Pokeball, and then they like stay there until you want to fight with them, and then you throw your Pokeball and they come out. And so they spend like most of their time in the Pokeball. And as a kid, I always imagined it as like its own world in there. And like the Pokemon are just like in there. And so I Googled what's it like inside a Pokeball. And I have a quote from the Pokemon Sun and Moon producer, Junichi Mizuda. And he explains in an interview that, quote, I think it's safe to say that it's very comfortable inside of a Pokeball. It's a very comfortable environment. Maybe the equivalent of a high-end suite room in a fancy hotel.
Okay, I'll take that. Where's my Pokeball?
Right. Also, like, suck on that, PETA. Like, it's good to be in a Pokeball, okay?
Yeah, you want to get inside this Pokeball.
Yeah, they're dying to get inside the Pokeball. That is my lesson on Pokemon. I hope that it cleared some things up for you.
I feel so educated now, and now I know that Eevee is also my favorite Pokemon.
Oh, good. Oh, we both have it. What's your favorite evolution?
Probably, I think the water one, because she has like a little mermaid tail.
I like Espeon. That's the psychic one.
She's all purple.
Yeah, she's the purple one.
Yeah, that's very you.
Yeah.
So you like Vaporeon.
Vaporeon. Yeah, very cute.
Mm-hmm.
Very cute. But Umbreon looks like Safty.
She does, yeah.
And there's like cool fan art of people hypothesizing what the other types are going to be, like the bug type.
Yeah,
looks
'cause
like a
they're
little
always-
bumblebee.
Yeah, they're always like
Cool.
coming out with new ones. Like originally it was just Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. And then they're always introducing new ones with new games.
Gotta catch them all.
Yeah, gotta catch them all. My sources are Pokemon.fandom.com, Britannica.com, LiveMint.com, Sideshow.com, CBR.com, Wikipedia, CNN.com, FaithfulMoms.org, FilmSchoolRejects.com, Kotaku.com, Vice.com, and GameInformer.com.
Wow, I do feel informed. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Let's hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
All right.
So, as I have talked your ear off in this episode, I've been sick this week, and my 7th Hill CBD has been saving my life. I have a sinus infection, and the pressure in my sinuses has been giving me headaches. And so, in all the tea I've been drinking, I've just been putting in my 7th Hill CBD Unwind oil, and it truly helps. Like, I don't even need Tylenol when I take my CBD.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy because I used to always reach for the pill medications, but after discovering and partnering with 7th Hill CBD, that's the go-to thing because it works, it tastes good, all of the flavors that they put in it. Like you have the Rise, I have the
Unwind.
You have the Unwind. I'm getting us all mixed up. You have the Unwind, I have the Rise. I use mine. I don't have a sinus infection, but yesterday morning I woke up with a headache, which is the worst. I was like, all right, I know I need water and I know I need my CBD. It cleared it up right away. And I'm like, is this witchcraft? I don't know.
It truly seems like it. Because honestly, like before 7th Hill, I was skeptical of CBD. I was like, this is just the placebo effect. And I don't know, but it really does take away your headache. Like, I'm not kidding you all. It is so amazing. And if it takes away your headache, imagine all the other body pain that it probably also helps with. It just truly is a miracle oil.
Right. It's organic, it's farm to table, and it's company that we trust and that we think you all can trust and will love too. So if you would like to get 20% off your order of 7th Hill CBD, just use the code NIGHTCLASSY, the name of this podcast, at 7thhillcbd.com to get 20% off your order.
Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. It's my turn. During today's Learny Journey, we will discuss the happenstance and high-speed rise of the infamous boy band One Direction.
Infamous? What did they do?
I mean, they're just famous, right?
Infamous is like
more
bad.
like notorious or something. We'll also learn the definition of words. By infamous, I meant just famous in general. Boy band One Direction.
It's like, wow, there's a lot I don't know.
No, there's really not. You probably, not that you won't learn things, but no, they're not infamous. I'm just a little dumb sometimes,
You're
and
not
that's
dumb.
okay. Well, if I don't know about Pokemon, then
That's true. You are dumb.
clearly a little bit. So, as previously stated, being a One Direction fan happened to me more so than I seek them out. As you know, I was riding to and from lacrosse practice as a freshman in high school. Their song "What Makes You Beautiful" was being played on repeat. So I was like, okay, this song is good. I kind of thought Harry Styles was hot. I will say in my research, though, I have realized that they do have some bops, and it's no wonder that they took the world by storm. By the time they took their indefinite hiatus in 2015, the band broke Guinness World Records. They had multiple top 10 hits. They had 5 full-length albums. They sold out tours within minutes in stadiums and arenas all around the world, and they did a shit ton of philanthropic work.
Really?
Yes, they are
Nice.
very generous and charitable. Which I didn't know. I was
Yeah,
like,
I had no
okay,
idea.
good for you guys. Before the band was formed, the members were just regular people / students because they were all between the ages 16 and 18 years old when they all got together. One Direction consists of 5 guys: Harry Styles, Liam Payne, Zayn Malik, Louis Tomlinson, and Niall Horan. And like I said, they were all really young. They were just students kind of living and existing, like you do when you're in high school. But they all came to be because of Simon Cowell and The X Factor, the show. So they all auditioned in 2010, but they did not audition as a band. They were all solo artists, so One Direction, the band, was never the plan at all. Each member did have their own individual personas within the bands, and I watched all of their auditions to X Factor, and I know I can't sing, but I'd like to think that I know what sounds good.
Right.
And I was shocked at how bad they sounded to me.
Really? All of them?
Not all of them. I'll start. The first one that they showed was Niall Horan. He's the, quote, cute Irish one.
My favorite thing about boy bands is that like everyone has to have a thing.
They really do. And this actually rings true. It's not just something that they like created. Do you want to watch them?
Do you want to do a clip?
Yeah, I think we should.
It's game on. All right, Dublin. All right, guys.
What's your name?
Niall.
Niall what?
Forum.
Why are you here today?
I'm here to be the best artist I can be in the world.
And Niall, how old are you?
I'm 16, Louis.
So are you like an Irish Justin Bieber, yeah?
I reckon so, I suppose.
Is this going to make you really popular at school?
Yeah, I suppose, Kate, yeah.
They're already losing their minds for him.
Oh, yeah. I gotta change my answering machine. And now that I'm alone, and cause right now it says that I can't come to the phone. And I know it makes no sense, cause you walked out the door, but it's the only way I hear your voice anymore.
Yeah, he's not very good. He's just cute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did have good stage presence,
Yeah.
though. But you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly why he got through. Essentially, his feedback was that he didn't sound good, but they gave him yeses because they liked him.
Yeah.
Katy Perry told him that he had a seed of talent.
Yeah, it's like just throw some auto-tune on that and we have a star.
And it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was Niall. Liam Payne is the next one. He's the more mature and sensible one. He auditioned in 2008 and got as far as making it to Simon's house in Barbados when Simon was like, I guess that's a stage of the X Factor.
What? You just go to Simon's house in Barbados?
Yeah. and
That
it's,
seems sketchy as hell. Let's have these 16-year-old boys to my house in Barbados.
14 at the
14.
time, though.
I'm not trying
Yeah.
to accuse Simon Cowell of anything, but that's weird.
It is a little weird. Yeah. Almost like making a video game about making animals fight. But yeah, Simon was like, you're not ready. Come back in 2 years. So he did. Liam Payne auditioned again in 2010. He sang Cry Me a River. And they let him go way longer than they let Niall go as far as the audition went. And I'm pretty sure he turned everyone on in that room, including Simon Cowell. Like just the way they're all looking at him.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty intense. So that was Liam Payne. Harry Styles, I think we all know him and recognize that name. He's like the charming, flirty guy. He auditioned when he was 16. He sang Isn't She Lovely? He was in a band in high school. He was a wedding singer actually before like at 16 years old. And he was in Battle of the Bands in high school. He got 2 out of 3 yeses. And Simon Cowell completely disagreed with the one guy who gave him the no. He was like, you're wrong. You're going to see this kid is going to be a star.
And he was.
That's so true. Next is Zayn Malik, and his name is spelled Zayne, but when he was born, it's spelled Zain. He just changed it because he thought it looked cooler.
Yeah, everything's cooler with a Y.
Yeah, I have to agree. He's the quiet and mysterious one. He's the bad boy of the group, if you will. He sang Let Me Love You. He got 3 yeses. He was fine, whatever. And then there was Louis Tomlinson, who's the funny and irresponsible one. He sang Hey There Delilah. He did not sound good and somehow got 2 out of 3 yeses. And he's the one who had like the Bieber cut at the time. So you have all these different guys who have different personalities. They're on this show. They all make it through. And although they auditioned separately, they did not progress individually within the boys category during the boot camp stage of the show. So either Simon Cowell or Nicole Scherzinger,
I don't know.
she's from the Pussycat Dolls.
Okay.
She was one of the judges. We're not really sure who had the idea. They both say that they had the idea to put all of the boys together as a boy band group. But either way, they did that, which qualified them to move on in the show instead of individually as a band. They could move on in the group category. And Simon Cowell said that it took him, quote, 10 minutes to put them together as a group. So he really thinks that it was his idea, but Something tells me that it was Nicole's idea.
Yeah, Simon Cowell seems like the type to steal an idea. I don't know why I'm shitting on Simon Cowell so hard. I have nothing against him, but seems sus.
He seems shittable.
Yeah, he does. He deserves it after making a career of being mean.
Yeah, he definitely does. So the band is together. They spend 2 weeks getting to know each other and practicing. And in that time, Harry Styles was actually the one who came up with their name of One Direction. There's no real reason behind it at all, other than they were just throwing a bunch of names out there and it sounded good and it stuck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's how we got Night Classy pretty much. So after their first performance as a group, which was an acoustic version of Torn, Simon Cowell truly saw their potential. They ended up going all the way to 3rd place in X Factor. And immediately after they got kicked off the show, Simon Cowell signed them to his record label for $2 million. Well, 2 million euro, 2.4 million US dollars, which I don't know if that's a good deal or not. And I don't know how long the contract lasted, but that seems kind of
seems low. But I mean, for a brand new band, that's probably good.
That's low knowing their success now.
Yeah.
If you have no idea, I think that's a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, they took it. Simon Cowell assigned them to Modest Management, and we'll talk more about that later. But they started recording their debut album in 2011 and even participated in the X Factor live tour. And after they released their first debut single, What Makes You Beautiful, in September 2011, everything took off like crazy after that. It was an international success. It became the most pre-ordered Sony Music single in history. Or is it Sony? Sony Music single in history. And their music video for that song, What Makes You Beautiful, almost got shut down. Louis was driving, and they're like on the coastline or something, driving this like Volkswagen looking, if not a Volkswagen orange, I don't know, van type thing. And I guess he was driving pretty erratically in the music video, and they got pulled over and the officer ended up pulling a gun on him.
What?
Yeah. And so
I'm actually not surprised.
I think this was in the UK though.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know they even had guns.
Or actually, you know what? Maybe it wasn't, because I'm picturing it. Yeah, no, I don't think it was.
It was probably
For some
in
reason I thought it was.
California if they're driving a Volkswagen on the coast.
Yeah. So he gets the gun pulled on him and he's like, whoa, it doesn't have to be like that. Like,
oh my God.
He's like, you're driving crazy. Like, what's going
So
on?
I'm going
here?
to shoot you.
So I'm going to shoot you.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
So you can never drive crazy again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but thank God the music video came out and that everyone's safe. So from there, I mean, they were an instant hit. They start releasing more and more singles and they record top charting albums. In 2011, One Direction became the face of Pokémon Black and White.
What? I did not know.
Yes.
Wow, look at that overlap.
Look at fate, man.
Intersectional.
Really coming through. Yeah, they recorded several ads. They had a series called One Direction Pokemon Diaries. They were the brand ambassadors.
I guess, yeah, 12 to 13-year-olds are their target audience for both.
Yeah, why
There you
not
go,
both?
yeah.
Porque no los dos?
Yeah.
So they get One Direction, they get Pokemon, and I guess they were big fans of Pokemon in themselves. Yeah, there's a picture of them.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Doing their brand ambassador
There's a
thing.
Snivy. There's a Torpig. Is that what that's called? And what's the otter?
Forget.
Its name sounds like otter, I think. I don't know. But yeah, there's some Pokemon with them.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're obviously really big. That was a year after they all auditioned before X Factor. So they're getting really famous really quick. They also launched some new Nokia phones.
Oh my God. What? They were making Nokia phones in 2011?
Yes.
The fuck? Why?
I didn't think they lasted past like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
They looked like a BlackBerry to me. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. I guess it wasn't until like 2013 or 14 that I had an iPhone. I had a flip phone like my freshman year of high school.
Yeah, I did too. Or it was one of those like kind of brick ones.
The keyboard,
that flipped.
flippy,
Yeah, one of those deals. Well, yeah, they were launching Nokia phones. They partnered with Colgate and made their own toothpaste. And then in December 2011, they go on their first UK concert tour, the Up All Night tour, and they arrived in the US in February 2012. Their first concert tour in the United States was an opening act for Big Time Rush.
Oh my God.
Do you remember
Yes,
them?
I remember Big Time Rush.
I was like, it had been swiped from my memory until I read that.
I never it was a show on Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was a little too old for it, so I never watched it, but I remember the commercials.
Yeah, my neighbor had a younger sister who watched it, so it was kind of just like parallel.
Yeah, I think I would babysit for little girls, and I saw it a couple times with them.
So they were a show and a band, and they were bigger than One Direction at one point. And What Makes You Beautiful was then released in the United States.
That happens all the time on this show.
It was a huge hit. Lacrosse girls everywhere were going crazy for it. And they quickly became this boy band machine, quite literally. They were constantly working and performing. And one thing that I read about was the phenomenon of boy bands, and I learned that the screaming of people, particularly girls, for boy bands or famous people has some psychology behind it, and it's been studied. It's it's thought of as a way to express identity within a larger population. You feel like you're a part of something when you're screaming for Harry Styles or the Beatles, you're a
the
part
Jonas
of
Brothers.
The Jonas Brothers. Oh yes, I screamed for the Jonas Brothers, and I didn't even need it.
I
Anyone
screamed
else
for the Jonas
around?
Brothers so hard.
I never saw them in concert or anything.
I saw them many times, and I always had floor tickets thanks to my amazing cousin Amara, who'd always bring me. And I touched Jordan Sparks' hand at one of their concerts.
Oh my God.
It was very exciting.
It's magical.
Yeah.
And I never washed it again, which is probably what the sinus infection came from.
Right.
And they had mostly female fans. How could you not? You're a bunch of handsome young men. And they really liked all of their individual personas. They were styled to be like the male version of the Spice Girls. Their stylist didn't want them to be in all the same outfits or all black or anything like that. They wanted them to really lean into how they were different to style them. One Direction was together for 5 years, and within that 5 years, they saw a lot of success, but all of that came at a cost. Zayn was the first one to leave the band in 2015. It was announced on Facebook. As a result of that, almost 500 people in the UK requested compassionate leave from work to cope with the emotional fallout.
Oh my God. I mean, I would need the same if Taylor Swift said she's retiring from music. So I kind of get it.
Yeah, that's how I felt when Panic at the Disco turned into just Brendan Urie. I was like, well, this is not the same. Then the remaining 4 were all together. They're like, we're still doing One Direction. They released one more album, and then they announced their extended hiatus in August of 2015. So now let's move into after the breakup. So Zayn, the bad boy, he told Fader magazine that One Direction's music was, quote, generic as fuck, and it didn't match his vibe. He said he wouldn't listen to their music and wants to make music that is, quote, cool shit.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, it's definitely fair.
You should like what you're making.
That's one of the things that they got praise for and flack for, was that their music was just generic and that it sounded a lot like other songs.
Yeah.
Zayn left out of pure exhaustion and creative oppression. He wanted to leave the band within the first year because he wasn't allowed to give any input. He wasn't allowed to make the music that he wanted to make. And I'm surprised he didn't leave sooner, because it was never the plan for them to be a band. They all wanted to individually.
How shocking. You audition for the X Factor and then suddenly you're the next Beatles in a band.
Right. I never signed on to this, and it happened so fast.
Yeah.
They do credit all of their fame and how fast it came together from social media. It was just able to spread so quickly. Zayn spoke about his stress, anxiety, and eating disorder he dealt with during this time in the band. He felt like the only thing he could control was his food intake. So he developed this eating disorder. And there are even mixed signals as to whether Zayn had a good time at all with his experience, because in that Facebook announcement where he said that he would be leaving the band, he wrote that he had, quote, 4 friends for life. But in 2018, he said he didn't make any friends from the band.
I mean, it's also like when you're putting out a public statement like that, like maybe he just like mentioned friendship just to kind of soften the blow and like be nice.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but he probably is not friends with
You're not
them.
going to be
Doesn't
like,
seem
screw
it.
you guys.
Yeah, like you're already quitting the band. Like you want to do it in a nice way.
Definitely. And it seemed like he had always felt like an outsider, not just in One Direction, but also growing up. He never felt like he was in, because like growing up in the UK, he grew up in like a religious Muslim family. So he never, I feel like, found his people, especially not in One Direction. So Zayn left, and Liam's mental health also went downhill. He said that he was oftentimes drunk on stage just to deal with the reality of having to put on a happy face constantly and perform for people, and doing the same 22 songs over and over again on tour every single day.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine doing that now, let alone as a teenager.
Yeah.
Like that's traumatic.
So many of them in interviews that I listened to this week were talking about how they were done with One Direction. They're like, okay, well, what do I want to do? But also, who am I? How am I supposed to know what I want to do? What do I even like?
Yeah, it's just so exploitative. Like the production companies were just milking these kids and treating them as a commodity.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
They really did. In an interview with This Morning in 2019, Liam talked about how the band had 2 weeks to write albums on the road because the management had already sold tickets for their next tour.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's
and
modest
they made
management.
them write the songs.
It was like a duo, because they had them writing songs and working on things, but they also had a team of people writing for them.
Yeah, I'd be like, if you're gonna sign me up for a tour before the album's written, like you go ahead and write the fucking songs.
Yeah, I'll sing it, but I'm not doing all that.
No.
I'm trying to play Pokemon Go.
Like I think about like if Night Classy were to someday become successful, like we would be having to research and record episodes during like our tours, and like that sounds exhausting. And obviously that's like doing a little bit of internet research is nothing compared to writing a whole album.
Yeah.
And
like,
performing on stage, like that is way different. Like
Right.
I just can't even imagine being put in the position where you're on the road writing an album in 2 weeks and performing every night.
at that age too. Like I was constantly at the verge of breaking down in my late teens and early 20s.
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
I mean, even now a little bit. It's gotten definitely better within the last 2 years or so.
Yeah.
But it was just such a stressful time.
Right. And your brain is not fully formed, and you have all these hormones, and like so that makes your like emotional and mental health like issues that are already there like even worse. And it sounds awful. I don't know how child stars do it.
It's no wonder that child stars come out so fucked up in the end.
Yeah.
And they would have their team members would be with them on tour. And one of the rules with Modest Management was that if you sleep with any of the band members, then you're fired. And so, of course, these young guys want to date and see women, and they would end up dating a lot of these young team members and sleeping with them. And then it's like once they break up, they get fired because it was like a revolving
That seems
thing.
like a fair rule, though.
Yeah, it does. But it doesn't help with the fact that like Harry Styles came out of it all, and in an interview recently with The Guardian, he was like, I realized the whole time the thing that I was lacking was actual human connection.
Yeah.
It's just this go, fast-paced thing where you're working to develop this thing that's outside of who you actually are.
Yeah. And like I also just want to go back for a second. I don't think that's fair anymore. I think that they'd get fired for sleeping with them.
I understand why the guys wouldn't want to be like have their makeup done by somebody that they used to hook up with.
Yeah. It's just like a weird situation. Like
It seems weird to make that like a written rule.
Yeah. And there's just like that power imbalance, like too. Like, are you going to say no? You know? I don't know.
The same thing in sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
Yeah, like how the cheerleaders and the football players can't hook up in
Yeah.
professional sports. Yeah. It's
I think it
complicated.
comes with good intentions about not exploiting.
But then it ends up
women.
being sexist because like the women get fired for it. I don't know. It's
But the
complicated.
opposite could be that it could be predatory.
Yeah, it could definitely be predatory. But then like One Direction faces no consequence either way, like whether they sleep with them or not, you know, like they're not the ones getting fired.
Yeah.
So they can still
Yeah.
be predators. Not that One Direction is predators. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying
Right.
like it's a very convoluted. It sounds very convoluted.
Yes, it is.
I don't want to jump to any conclusions.
We've proven it is convoluted. So several of them out of 5 have come away with mixed feelings about their time in One Direction. The rest of them seem to look back at their times in One Direction more fondly than Zayn and Liam do. At least Louis has said that he wasn't ready for the band to split up. And that's because he had just started doing more and more solos and being kind of like a lead singer in the group because he was not great in the audition. But he wasn't ready for them to split up, but he was grateful for what One Direction had done for him. Harry is overall positive in looking back, but he did say, again, in that Guardian interview that he was lacking human connection, which is, I mean, for me as an introvert, I don't necessarily need to seek that out and like really like want it or need it.
But I feel like you
after
need
so long.
Yeah. And you need like a close relationship with like one or two people who you can lean on. And like if you don't have that, like no matter how introverted you are, like that's tough.
Yeah. And
Are
you're
you an
surrounded-
introvert?
I'm an extroverted
Okay.
introvert. Yes, I
Okay.
am an introvert. Definitely.
So you are an introvert?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not an ENFP. Interesting. Okay.
I am though.
So it'd be an INFP, introvert.
I don't think you have to. I don't think it has to align with it because I
Well,
definitely need that
I'm
time
talking
to-
strictly the Myers-Briggs.
Myers-Briggs. Okay.
Extroverted or introverted.
I think it could go either way because at the end of the day, I need I always need to recharge my social battery and get overwhelmed in front of a lot of people, but I also enjoy talking and speaking publicly. It's like a balance. It feels like a flip-flop, but
yeah, it's not black and white. But when you take the test, it's like 49-51, you know? It's like,
yeah, we'll have to look at my results and
Yeah.
see what the balance is. There has been a lot of blame put on their management at Modest Management. One Direction fans ended up at one point in time tweeting several times a day that One Direction band members deserved better than all of this work that they were putting in constantly. And there have been a few like sly comments by the members about their situation with Modest Management, but nothing outwardly calling them out or saying anything directly about that. One thing though is that One Direction has been accused several times of plagiarism, but nothing has really stuck since they do have a writing team to make sure. But there are a lot of songs that just sound so similar, or the melodies are like practically
Yeah.
the same.
I feel like that's so hard to avoid with pop music.
Yeah, there's only so many
Yeah.
ways you can recreate songs that are poppy. Niall, though, is the only one who has stayed with Modest Management and has positively supported them. So that's a question there. Modest Management, I didn't have time to look into all the other issues they've had with other artists, though, but that does seem like drama.
Yeah, I mean, any music production company management is pretty
what
sus.
is up with that? Yeah.
Yeah, they tend to be very exploitative.
Definitely. And I think that's what happened here.
Yeah.
So after going on their hiatus or leaving the band completely, the members have all pursued their own individual careers. They've released their own music, which all sounds very different from One Direction's. Louis released music with Baby Rexha and Steve Aoki. He has a child now. Harry has collaborated with a bunch of artists. He starred in the movie Dunkirk. He's released his own music, including Watermelon Sugar. And he's become an icon for fighting gender norms by wearing whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
We love Harry Styles. Zayn Malik has collaborated with Taylor Swift and Sia. He released Pillow Talk in like 2016 now, I think.
Man, yeah.
Niall has collaborated with a bunch of people. one thing that I did discover in this research is that he dyed his hair blonde for a really long time and just recently started wearing it brunette. So fun fact. And lastly, Liam has worked with Rita Ora and Zed and also has a child now.
Zayn Malik has a baby. He just had a baby with Gigi Hadid.
Oh, I didn't know that. When I literally Googled who in One Direction has a child, it only talked about Liam
She
and
just
Louis.
had a baby.
Damn. Okay. He was also engaged to Perry Edward, I believe, and then broke up with her about the same time that he broke up with One Direction.
Huh.
And then started dating Gigi Hadid. That's weird. I wonder why. Maybe I just missed that or clicked on the wrong.
Yeah, maybe it was an old article because she just had the baby like maybe 5 months ago. It was a quarantine baby.
Look at you knowing things.
I know. What can I say?
They all seem to keep in contact with each other. Some of it is definitely more so here and there than being like close friends. However, Zayn Malik doesn't seem to have friendships with any of them. So I guess it's good he has Gigi and his child to feed his human connection needs. I do want to end on a fun fact that I learned about the group. The members of One Direction had a run-in with Donald Trump while staying at one of his hotels in New York City.
Donald Trump really is the star of our episode.
God damn it. We never
Why
wanted
does this always happen to us?
He's infamous. That's why.
Thank you. Good job.
Thank you. So when they were staying at one of his hotels in New York City, Trump asked them to take a picture with his lawyer's daughter. And I don't know if Rudy Giuliani had been his lawyer at that point or not.
Was it Rudy Giuliani's daughter?
I don't know.
The article probably would have said.
I couldn't find the specifics.
It probably would have said if it was him. Oh my God, that would have been so funny.
But they refused, and their reason was that they were not there for meet and greets, and they had to, focus on their Madison Square Garden gig. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
Trump then barred them from using the hotel's garage door to avoid the crowds and the paparazzi.
Oh my God, what a petty douchebag.
So petty. I mean, they were petty right back. Yeah, rightfully so. They left the building and did not stay again.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I know. So there we go. Trump made his way into both of our lessons. We're doing great. All right, let me list these sources. There are a lot of them. All right, Clever News, YouTube, Top 10 Talent, YouTube video, Remember One Direction, all 5 auditions, Insider, Then and Now, One Direction, Everything One Direction members have said since their hiatus, Vice, How Teen Girls' Hysteria for Boy Bands Became an Unstoppable Force by Kate Lever, The Guardian article, Harry Styles, I'm Not Just Sprinkling in Sexual Ambiguity to Be Interesting by Tom Lamont, OneDirection.fandom.com, Wikipedia for One Direction, and NikkiSwift.com, Shady One Direction Things everyone ignored. That is my learning journey.
Amazing. I feel enlightened, and I'm going to go home and cook dinner and listen to One Direction.
I'm going to go home and download Pokemon Go.
Oh, yes, we can play together.
Ooh, let's do it.
Let's do it while listening to One Direction.
Wow, we're really doubling down.
Yes, we are. That's going to become my new identity. Thank you, Hayley, for the lesson. Thank you all so much for listening. If you liked this, please rate, review, and subscribe. I heard from a few people, people are confused if they can rate and review on Apple Podcasts without an account. If you have an iPhone, you don't need an account. You can just rate and review. So please do that if you're interested. We would really appreciate it.
And they've changed it to follow now on Apple.
Yes, follow, review, and rate. So
whatever you do not subscribe.
Yeah.
Just kidding. You can subscribe to our YouTube.
Yeah, you can follow us on Spotify also. Just help us. Do something. Any number of things. You can follow us on social media. You can tell a friend about us, and you can check out our Patreon. Thank you so much for listening, and 3, 2, 1, class dismissed.